I've yet to see Fernandes do this against Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even Arsenal as a top team, but I'm just saying, like, I don't see
Excuse
him
me? Sorry, what?
doing. Sorry. Okay, all right. Sorry, I forgot there's an Arsenal fan in our pod. All right, Arsenal. But when I say Arsenal, I mean Arsenal is obviously not the most strongest defensively. We can all agree to that. But even then, I don't see Bruno doing this to them. So let's say the more
7-2. Sorry. Carry on.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yes. You are tuned into episode 37 of FPL Bros. And it's been a long time. We should have never left you. It was only an extra 2 days. But we'll just thought we'd give you our thoughts on the Gameweek 11. That's how we roll.
Yeah,
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm decent. So Gameweek 11, just got D and Kojo on today's pod. I think Jamie might join us. Might get a little surprise appearance from him, but we'll see how that plans out. But yeah, I'm doing okay. How about you?
Obviously, real life just keeps happening, but we're here now, and so we'll get this out for the people, for the man dem and the girl dem. They need this. All right then. First of all, we'll go through what happened in Game Week 10, and I don't mind going first so I can get it off my chest. I had the stinker. I got 43 points, which was one below the average, and only Grealish and Salah and Chilwell returned for me. I'll just say very quickly that I kind of gambled because I know a lot of people got in KDB and he returned with 10 points. I kind of gambled and I didn't get any Man City in, but I reckon I'm still up on the deal because if I had done, I would have gotten Sterling for Son, and obviously Sterling scored 0 points. So that's the only thing I'm happy about. Oh, that Sterling didn't play because I would have brought him in. But now, and I'd be things down, So how about you?
I didn't do too well, but I didn't do terribly. I think the reason why I'm a bit disappointed is because I played my wild card, so I did expect more points than I had. I know I was indecisive about who my captain would be last game week, and I did mention my number one was De Bruyne, followed by Vardy, but I switched it last minute and went with Vardy captain instead of De Bruyne. So I finished with 57 points. Like I said, everyone returned apart from my defence, which is Justin, Masako, Target and Martinez, and Calvert-Lewin once again didn't return. But I think, he played okay, just one of those games where he didn't really get many chances, to be fair.
He could have scored, I reckon.
Yeah, probably could have, but he didn't. Leeds dominated possession as they usually do, so it was quite tough for Everton to create a lot of chances. But yeah, I was just only disappointed with my captain pick. And I know Target was unlucky because a goal was ruled offside for Aston Villa, which he assisted.
Yeah.
So, not a bad game week, but hopefully it gets better.
Okay.
Jamie's here as well, isn't he?
Yes.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. How you doing, Jamie?
I'm all right, thank you. I managed to creep away.
All right, wonderful. All right then. Yeah, so we're going to just roll through this pretty quick, as you can imagine. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try and shift things through. But super quick, you can do the points because I've already gotten mine off my chest. But I've spinned it as a positive, as you may have heard, because I was going to get Sterling in, but then I thought, let's see what happens with Man City. And he didn't play. So I'm obviously up on the deal there.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you do game week 10?
Well, I can't say I was happy with it. I got final points 54. 4 points for sitting on the bench with Foden, so that guys me because, as you guys know, I was like, I'm in an R about where my subs should go and things like that. And maybe I should have tried to get Foden in somehow because Rodriguez only brought in 2 for me. My big hitters were Fernandes, Grealish and Wilson, 10, 10 and 12. Unluckily, I captained Calvert-Lewin because I just thought something would happen there like Derek, but nothing came through. I don't know Maybe just the one week he was quiet. That's the week I captained him. And also I had Salah, but I didn't want to captain him because I was looking for a bit of differential with Calvert-Lewin, which is a funny way to look at it. But I felt like a lot of people were captaining De Bruyne and Salah last week, so that was what I was going on. But still, I got green picks all round, so when I look at my leagues, I'm not doing too badly, so I'll take it.
No, looking good, definitely.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right, then we'll move on to like the first sort of discussion points, but I'm going to be flexible with this as well. Obviously, I mentioned a couple of things we might want to look at. I mentioned how Fernandes is looking like somebody who's a pretty reliable source of points, although that's not really a big secret, is it? Also, the talk continues apace about Manchester City, but who should we be getting from them? Yeah, whatever you guys want to start with, that's fine.
Let's just have a look at what's happened so far in the week, and then I think we'll go into that next, to like maybe looking at some of the teams and fixtures next as well.
Okay.
So obviously we know there's been some matches suspended with like the Villa and Newcastle game. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then we've got some players who are out as well, who are flagged, but I think it might be false flags, and I'm talking more about Spurs. So we'll see what happens there. But with regards to the Villa situation, what would you say is the sensible thing to do? Do you think it's sensible to transfer players out ahead of Villa having Fulham as well, and potentially also playing later on in the week, or would you say it's probably best to hold on to them?
Well, I would say is that I can't see that fixture being replayed this week. I honestly think it's going to come up again later on. So obviously Newcastle and Villa players are going to have a double game week, but I don't think it's coming up right now. In terms of what to do with your players, it's a difficult one. I've got 2 Villa players. I've got Grealish, like us about 40% of the game has, and I've got Martinez. Now with Grealish, I'm not too bothered about getting rid of him because as far as I'm concerned, he's a keeper. At least he's a keeper for like the next 5 or 6 fixtures. Martinez is different because I don't have a reserve goalkeeper who's playing. Like a lot of people, I went cheap on my second goalkeeper and I picked one who's not playing. Now, a lot of people might be wondering what to do in that situation. I say it's up to you. Me personally, I think I might take a -4 for another keeper. And the reason I think that's worth doing is that I know for a fact that the guy I've got right now is not going to play. It's not like you're taking a -4 for somebody because you think they might get extra points. So if I don't take a -4, that's a 0. If I take a -4, the keeper I get in might hopefully get at least 2 points. So it's more like a -2 than a -4. On the other hand, you might just swallow it and think, well, I'm not going to have a keeper for one game week. He might only be worth an extra 2 points anyway, so it's not such a big deal. He might even only get 1 point or even 0 points. A lot of the time keepers don't get that many points. Their ceiling is pretty low. The most, you're looking at 6 points for them most of the time. They let in 1 goal, they're already down to 2, and goals have been flying around. So that's my advice. If you had Ollie Watkins, for example, and your bench was looking weak, then you might want to do something about that. But for me, Grealish is a keep. Martinez, you might want to transfer out, but then you have to think about transferring him back in again if you really want him back, because Villa's fixtures are still good. But that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hold on to my players. What are you doing, Jamie?
I don't know. I agree. I'm in a similar situation. Obviously, Martinez and Grealish. Those are the standard starting players for their positions. It seems for everybody's FPL. But then I've also got Wilson up front. So there's a lot for me to think about. That's 3 positions that might be dropping out. I mean, I can get away with subbing someone in, but then it's tough because my bench is really weak. So I'm thinking like in bottom of the barrel week. But I'm thinking I'm thinking maybe I might have to use a transfer just because they're Grealish and Wilson are in 2 decent positions and I haven't got the subs to cover that. I'm gonna take the L with Martinez. I think that's what I'm gonna do, just because, like you said, goalkeepers at best I'm looking for 6. Usually you're getting 2, if that, because goals have been flying around. So I'm not gonna bother myself trying to figure out a good goalkeeper to bring in for one game week, because you bring them in and they ship goals and then what? What was the point?
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. Cool.
Although I would say very quickly, if somebody is thinking about swapping him out for a goalkeeper, perhaps Meslier at Leeds. I mean, I think he's only 4.5. If I was going to swap somebody out, it might be for him. Possibly even Johnston. But, I mean, I think West Brom have got Man City and Liverpool coming up. So, I maybe not. But those are a couple of options.
Yeah, some decent options there. Cool.
So what's your take on all this madness then, Derek?
I'm just going to hold on to my Villa assets. Unlike Jamie, fortunately, because I used my wildcard recently, my bench options are fairly okay options. So if they did kick in, I don't mind. My only concern was for Cancelo. When we spoke about him last week, you said Mendy might be playing. And, you were right. Mendy did start instead of Cancelo. So I'm a bit weary this week. I don't want to miss out on the clean sheet again. I don't want to get, my player not playing for me and get 0 points for him. So I'm thinking of transferring him out. But yeah, that's where my head's at the moment.
Yeah, see, this is what Man City do to you. You really got to have a strong bench because it seems like we've gotten back to that place with Pep where he just oh, screw it, Yeah, I played this guy 4 times in a row and now he's on the bench. And that's just how it is. It would not surprise me if Sterling started the next game, even though I think he played 90 minutes in Europe. But you just can't tell with Pep.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
I mean, generally speaking, shall we have a quick discussion on Man City now that we're there anyway? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I mean, although I prefer Sterling to KDB, I have to accept that KDB looks the most nailed. Even then, I wouldn't put it past Pep to rest the guy. But I've been looking at the people who've been starting the most in the last 4 games for City, and it's KDB, obviously, at the top. And then who else did I look at?
Quite a few games.
Torres. I think he's pretty much started every game he's been available for in the Premier League. Then Mahrez, Jesus, surprise, surprise, but then they don't really have anybody else up front. Rodri has been more nailed than Sterling. Just imagine. And then
is this the last 4 games?
Yes.
Over all positions or in the Prem?
In the Prem.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then in defence, it's been Diaz and Walker. I think Pep's starting to experiment with Stones again. I mean, maybe he's found a way of getting to play it. So you've got all these options swirling around. At the end of the day, you want the points because they, when they turn it on, they score lots of goals. But where to go, where to look? It's all punts, basically. Even though I like Sterling and I like the fact that he's got a hat-trick in him, I'm being swayed back towards KDB, even though he's more expensive. And sometimes all he does is assist. They're not worth the same as goals. But if your bench is weak, when my bench is not the greatest, I have to bear this kind of thing in mind. Of course, I could just stop pussyfooting around in wildcard, but that's another conversation altogether. So what do you guys think? Is it time to jump on Man City? Who do you get, and how do you deal with the Pep rotation? As if we had the answer to that, but anyway, I'm going to throw it open anyway.
Go on, Jamie, you can go.
Well, for me personally, if I was to hazard a pick, I would probably go KDB. I mean, this is going against what I said last week, but I feel like he's Pep's favourite. At least I feel like I guess he's the most immune from his rotation. Just hazarding, I guess. But with the Pep rotation for FPL, I don't like it. I don't like picking Man City players. Like I said, I picked Foden because I had some money left over in the bank, and I thought, oh, he's a decent pick, and he'll get some points if needed be. And that's literally it. Like I would like to pick some, but I don't know. I want to always maximize playing time for my players. That's the way I go. I'd hate seeing money just chilling in 0. It's like, oh my gosh.
I think for me, there's a few options you have here. You've got most nailed. So most nailed is KDB or the keeper, Edison. Yeah. So those are the 2 most nailed. If you want good value for money, then you got Foden, who's very good value for money. Or you got actually a pick, which I didn't think I'd hear myself saying, Walker, because, he offers very good value for money in terms of the bonus points and assists and clean sheet potential, especially with the upcoming fixtures. So you can either go for the best value for money options, but obviously subject to some sort of rotation. And Kyle Walker doesn't get rotated much, so he's actually probably a strong one along with De Bruyne if you do want to pick. But if you do want to try and save some money, I'd probably say go for like your Fodens and your Rodris and your Torreses.
Yeah. It's as usual. It's a tough one. It's got us scratching our heads there. I've said before in the past that Pep likes to pick his team for who he's actually playing. So if you're good at analysing perhaps where his next opponent's weaknesses are, is he going to want somebody who's flying up the left wing, on the right wing? Are they going to play deep? So he's going to need creative midfielders, like Silva, for example, trying to unlock the defence, or does he want the direct running of Mahrez? If you think you could work that out, then be my guest. And in fact, hit us up on Twitter and let us know, because I would love to know. But aside from that, it's just so tough, man. With a heavy heart. It looks like I'm going to have to be transferring KDB. I want Sterling, but like he's messing with us again. He's just messing with us. And what are you going to do?
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, yeah. Did anybody maybe have some thoughts on Fernandes emerging as somebody who's up there with Salah and the erstwhile KDB?
I'm not completely convinced yet. I'll be honest with you. I'm not completely convinced. When they do these crazy things and he gets all these crazy points, it's always against these lower league teams.
That's a fair point.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my point being, I'm still not convinced yet. And yes, like he has got a lot of potential. He is a very good player. He's amazing. And he's got a lot of potential in terms of getting assists and goals. And obviously he's on penalties. But I just think when he gets the tough fixtures, which are coming up, he's going to really struggle. He's going to really, really struggle. And when in the last game they had where they just managed to nick the win, I don't think they deserved that, number one.
No.
I think it was a bit of complacency from the opposition team. I think it was at Southampton.
Yes, it was.
Mixed with a bit of luck. And, I didn't see that happening. They were getting bossed the whole game and then all of a sudden it just happened. So personally for me, I haven't got Fernandes and I'm hoping, it doesn't end up biting me in the bum, but that's just the stance I'm taking.
He's at 45% ownership. Yeah. That's me. Four out of every 10 managers have got him in his team.
I mean, what can you say? I don't know. I think I've got an opposing view to Derek. I mean, like, as a player, I don't think he's great. I don't think he's a great player. I think he's brash. I think he just tries for the fantastic and it doesn't always come off and he loses the ball all the time or whatever else. But one thing I can't deny is he's in and around the goals. Every bloody week it seems like he's doing something. He's trying to get a penalty. He's trying to get assist. He's scoring a penalty. Like he's banging shots in from wherever he is on the pitch. He doesn't care. So like just by law of averages, he's surely gonna get some. That's the reason I've got him on my team, because I listen to a lot of Man United podcasts, and similar to the way Man United fans get upset with Ole because like he'll be on his way out and then he'll pull a win out of the bag and that's it. He's good for another 5 months or something. It's similar with Fernandes. Like he'll have a stinker of a game and then he'll score a goal and then all of the pundits are singing his praises and they hate him for it. They say he's a terrible player, but they can't hate him too much because he's scoring the goals and winning them games. So it's like that's the reason I've got him, because whenever something comes from them, and also Man United, the amount of penalties they get, Fernandes, he's called that for a reason.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is the question. What is the answer? I have to say, for the longest time, I was like you, Derek. I just didn't see what was so special about him. But what I will say is this. I suppose, in a way, he is a flat track bully. But in a way, maybe that's what you want. Because the whole point of playing FPL is being able to predict when you're going to get the point. So fair enough, if you've got Fernandes in your team and he's playing Man City or he's playing Leicester, then you think, oh, okay, he's not going to get any points. I won't stick the armband on him, or I might even bench him if I've got a couple of players who I think are going to do better this week. But then when he comes up against Sheffield United or he comes up against West Ham you know he's going to get the points, however they may be. I mean, he always starts every game. He plays 90 minutes pretty much every game, and even though he's a midfielder, he's always running into the box. Like he just wants to be there. And like, and when he first came, we were like, what are you doing? I thought your whole thing was set pieces and long range shots. But he's like, no, I want to head it. No, I want to tap it in. And Rashford and Martial are looking at him. And it's like, what are you doing? This is our job. This is our place on the pitch. He's like, nah, I'm doing this. I've got this. I'm taking it. Hold my beer. I'm scoring all the goals here. So
I hear you.
Being a factory lead is not necessarily a bad thing because it makes him more predictable. The last thing you want is somebody who does well in the difficult fixtures and does really badly in the easy ones. That's what kills me anyway, as far as FPL goes. Some people have faith in players to play well no matter who they've got. But I don't blame people for getting him in, and it just might continue. The fact that he's always in and around the goals and around the points. And sure, you might not particularly enjoy watching him play, but final whistle goes, you go into your FPL team and you see Fernandes, the 10 points in brackets. That's not necessarily a bad thing, is it?
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, just looking at his history, out of 10 game weeks, he's had 5 which are double figures.
Yeah.
You can't argue that.
No. So fair enough. The next 5 are a bit of a mixed bag for him, but
have to see how it goes. But you're right though, Derek.
You just know he's going to get some points, and that's the point. If you've got somebody who you think is going to do better than him over the next 5 fixtures, by all means get that person in and captain them. For example, Jota might be able to match him, and he's a good 3 or 4 million cheaper than Fernandes is. So again, you've got to work out where your points are going to come from, I think.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right. Does anybody want to bring up anything else at all?
No.
Nothing that we won't go into when we probably go look at the fixtures coming up.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. This is where we earn our bread. This is where we earn our dough. Doing the predictions. So let's get right onto that. As per usual, I will do my best to mark out the most significant ones. Okay, so why don't we start with Man City and Fulham?
So everyone's thinking City's going to run riot in this game. The only thing is, obviously, Fulham shocked us last week, didn't they, when they ended up beating Leicester? Which
what happened there? I missed that game completely, and I was like, "What's going on?" Did anybody see it?
No, I didn't watch it. I'm glad I didn't watch it either. It would have really annoyed me.
I didn't.
How do you think this was going to go then?
I do think it's going to be like a 6-something win for City. They're going to score at least 6. Come on.
6?
Look, City, I watched their game, right? And they were having fun with it. Like, they could have scored more. There were times where some of the players got selfish, but they could have had more. They could have had easily 6, 7. And that was against a Burnley squad who are actually quite disciplined at the back.
True.
And
right.
Playing a Fulham squad who are inexperienced to the Prem, are not very disciplined, like in a City team who've got a lot to prove right now. Everyone wants a spot in this team, and it's hard. You have to fight for it. And, people are like Mendy. He, as soon as you got a spot, what do? Straight away, a goal, just to show Pep. You should
be fair.
playing.
It was a heck of a finish, I have to say. I didn't think he had it him first time, and he put it straight into far post. But sorry, go on.
Wasn't it a cross from De Bruyne?
It was.
It was a beautiful cross as well. De Bruyne's delivery has been amazing.
But
I think they're going to run riot. That's my prediction.
Jamie?
I think, I mean, it goes without saying a City win. I think if Fulham pull this out of the bag, then I don't know, I'm pipping them for top 4. after last week and then this week.
Wow, that's a statement.
If they pull this out of the bag and they beat Leicester and City on the bounce, I don't know. They've turned it around. They're taking something. Like, I don't know. But definitely a City win.
Remember Norwich?
Yeah, this is true. Norwich, I do remember Pookie, team of Pookie.
Yeah, they beat another team, and everyone goes, "Yep, Norwich are gonna beat," and then next thing you know, they're back in the Championship.
Well,
Yeah,
that's how the game goes, man.
it is.
When those winter fixtures hit, when the ground starts getting hard,
Mm.
people start breaking legs. But
It's a cold game.
it is a cold game. Yeah, no, I'll say a City win, and I think comfortably. I don't think I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see City get out of second gear. I would say even first gear. They're gonna run. They're gonna pop a couple goals early, and then it's just gonna be all right. If they fancy it, they fancy. If they don't, then it's gonna be like one of those ones.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's. I mean, on paper, there's potential for an upset because Fulham just might be able to play Man City at their own game because Fulham love that possession game, don't they? They love to have the ball all the time, and if they get it right, they could run rings around City. On the other hand, City look like they've got their swagger back, and they're at the Etihad. Although I don't think they're allowed fans back in Manchester, are they?
I don't. Oh no,
I
are
think
they tier 3?
Yeah, something. I think so.
must be.
Crazy.
I think they are.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep it simple. I think it's going to be a comfortable win, but then I don't think City are going to go nuts because I think maybe they're still, finding their way a little bit. So something like 3-0, maybe, or, that kind of scoreline. All right then. And then we've got West Ham versus Manchester United.
Tough one.
I mean, it's really hard to predict anything with Man United. It's like what team turns up. It really does feel that way.
Yeah.
It is. I mean,
After then, I can see. I don't know. I can see West Ham doing something here because they've got a really strong track record in their home as well.
mm,
They're going to have their fans there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is true. And I do believe the fans make a difference. Arsenal played with their fans the first time on Thursday, and like I swear it was obviously like with a caveat of the opposition, like flipping Rapid Vienna, but there was like a different side playing. They came out with such like fight and happiness, and like they were pinging the ball around. I think it was the first 1-2 I've seen this decade.
Same here. It looks like they really wanted to pass it. It's like 2 or 3 of them probably woke up in the morning and they said, I had this funny dream. And like there was these weird people in it. And one of them was called Perez and another one was called Luger.
It was.
But they were wearing red shirts like us. Do you think that could mean something?
Oh my gosh. Who knows, man? It might have been that, honestly, because they were like the fans. I don't like especially for the games that are allowed fans in. I think the home side are gonna have real support and they're gonna want to put on a show. They're gonna come out like it's a cup final.
It works both ways though, because if you start playing badly, you start making a mistake, the fans can really get on your back for that.
I don't know, man. I think it's more
groan
like
every time you touch the balls. Oh, not him again! Oh,
I think maybe for the second game, but man, like football Twitter was electric. Well, at least Arsenal Twitter was electric when the game was going on. It seemed like every single fan in the stadium was buzzing just to be in the presence.
I see what you mean. After how many years was it? Like 260 days without live football. Yeah,
they're just on a straight adrenaline high. I mean, they could go down 3-0 at halftime and somehow West Ham will pull it out of the bag. Like, I could see that happening.
A honeymoon period. Yeah, do you know what? I think I'm looking at a score draw here because I think West Ham have got Antonio back.
No way. No way.
Wow.
No way. West Ham are scoring. We both know West Ham are scoring. Let's be honest here. All right. This is Manchester United defense.
No. I said a score draw.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I had a ball draw.
Oh, right. No. No, you're right. West Ham are scoring.
Yeah, West Ham are scoring.
Moyes, again, you might have a point to prove, although it's one thing wanting to prove a point, but you actually have to have the place to do it. But I think West Ham are capable of turning it on. And then it's like Jamie said, Man United, they might just look lost again, All it takes is a couple of goals, and then, the plan just goes out of the window. It's like that famous Mike Tyson quote. He says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And I think that's what Manchester United are like. They have a plan and it doesn't work out for them. And then they just look lost, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they got Neymar just the other day.
West Ham have the second best home record bar Liverpool.
Ah.
Wow.
See?
Yeah. That's an interesting stat.
Man United are going to have to do very, very well to get 3 points, again, which they're capable of doing, but I don't know. Yeah.
Like you said, it depends on which side turns up.
Exactly.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right then, Chelsea versus Leeds.
Ooh, that's an interesting one, you know.
Mm.
I can't give it straight away. I can't just say, oh, it's going to be one way or the other. I don't know, because I don't know. Have Chelsea been tested the way Leeds are just going to full out attack and not even think twice?
That's true.
I think for me that's a Chelsea win. You know.
What, comfy one?
Fairly comfy. Chelsea have a very good attacking lineup, and Leeds are not very. They like bombing up front too much sometimes, and then as the game goes along, they do sometimes tend to lose track of their players because they do a man marking approach, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Man for man.
You're right. Having said that, when Leeds have got the ball, they're very good, and they've got Calvin Phillips back. And again, it'd be interesting. I always seem to think that a decent manager should be able to get the better of Frank Lampard. But again, I'm also having to eat my words about the defending because, I mean, I don't know if the defending has been good per se, but they've been keeping the clean sheets. And obviously, what's his name? The goalkeeper, I've forgotten his name again. Yeah, obviously Mendy's a great keeper. He's part of that. For the same reason Sheffield United look like they're going down because they don't have Henderson anymore. Chelsea have got Mendy and they're on their way up. So it's a difficult one to call. I think it's difficult.
Yeah. Chelsea have kept a clean sheet in 5 of their last 7 competitive games, and they've also remained unbeaten in 8 straight Premier League games at home. Now, that combined with the amount of talent they have on their bench, I mean, when you can have Giroud coming on and scoring hat-tricks and like just treating the Europa Champions League like is the Europa, you have to kind of think twice, like this is a team that is capable of doing something. Their bench looks so strong, so strong. So for me, I do think, I mean, it's not good. They're not going to like run riot on Leeds, but I do see a Chelsea win, maybe a 1-0 win, maybe a 2-0 win, something small.
I'm going to have to say that Chelsea are going to get breached. So I reckon it's going to be a right old ding dong, as they say. Possibly a Chelsea win at the end of it, but I just think that both keepers are going to be picking the ball out of their nets.
Yeah, I agree totally.
Because Leeds will be busting a gut to score. They really try every game they play to score, and I think they can do it against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when they played against Leicester, and I said it was going to be a good game, and I said what Leicester were going to do is play against Leeds just to get the ball high up, because Leeds play quite high line, so they're going to play the ball through the back line and just get Vardy running on it. Chelsea do have Werner. They do have, like Ziyech. They've got some fast players that do like to run behind people. Yeah, Tammy and stuff. So
Pulisic is back as well. He likes to run, doesn't he?
Yeah, Pulisic is back. You're right. It would be a good game, though. It was fun to watch, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah, I think it'll be a good one. I mean, I think you're giving Frank Lampard too much credit. I don't think Frank Lampard's half the manager Brendan Rodgers is.
Oh gosh! So I suppose the end of the season that will tell the story. All right then. Then we got the North London derby. So that's Spurs versus Arsenal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
At the toilet bowl. Yeah. Yeah, that could be an interesting one.
I think this is going to be a good game. I see goals from both sides, personally, as you do with the usual North London derbies you have. But yeah, I think it'll be a good game. Both sides.
Yeah, they usually are goals, aren't they? So
goals and cards. Those are 2 things you could definitely like bet on in a North London derby.
Yeah, and I love the mind games from Mourinho as well. It says, and if I tell you Kane isn't playing, then you'll just say, "Aha, you're trying to trick us." But I think he might play. It's like you just did that. No. You just did what you said you weren't going to do.
Yeah. So, I've heard through the grapevine that Arteta's trying to do a bit of mind games as well, because it's like when Partey was reported just the week before last that not until Jan, he's not playing any games till January, and then he's in full training on just yesterday. Yeah. It was like, oh, okay. So what's happening there?
He's he's going to have a late fitness test, isn't he?
Yeah, that's
Do
what
you
it's
know
going to be. It's
what?
going to be a late fitness test, and we'll see what
It's
happens.
it's a sort of game where I think he'd probably risk him, even if he wasn't 100% fit, because
I think if
it's
he
that
can get a win,
important, isn't it?
exactly. If Arteta can get a win in the
Yeah.
North London derby at Spurs home stadium when they got their fans in, yeah,
Mm.
that's it. He's God's gift.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, again, I'm saying goals. Before, I would have said goals and a Spurs win, but the possibility of Partey being back, and then you've got Mari coming back as well, haven't you?
Pablo Mari, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd just say anything could happen.
Literally.
Yeah. That's my take anyway.
To be honest with you, I don't, I can't, literally, it feels like vomit's coming up my throat. I feel like Spurs might pip a win.
Well, look,
say it.
Look, barring cup games, there's 2 every season. 1 at Spurs, 1 at Arsenal. So, you take an L and a W, and that's how it goes.
But I would say this, that last time Arsenal played at Spurs in December time, we won 4-2. So we might see an Arsenal 4-2 win. Just putting that out there, lads.
It's possible. Anything's possible. Okay, then. Liverpool versus Wolves. And on the topic of mind games, I hear that Trent's back in training as well.
Oh.
Trent's back in training. Van Dijk's rehab is looking very, very, very good.
Yeah, I saw him lifting weights.
Yep. So, things are starting to look up. But on the game, I think once again, it should be a tough game for Liverpool. Wolves are very cautious when they play. I do think with Liverpool's home track record, I don't see them losing this game, but I'm not going to quite scream a win. They should win, but VAR in that. I'm not going to say anything else.
Oh dear. The last few games between Liverpool and Wolves have actually been quite tight, haven't they? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They're really tight affairs. So I don't see any reason that's going to change. I mean, obviously, Wolves don't have Jimenez, but Neto, Podence, Traore all look like they're capable of doing the business. So it's not necessarily a Liverpool win because Wolves are capable of hurting them. So another tight game. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 1-0 to Liverpool, though.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be quite a tight one. I think so. I think Wolves are going to go for it. What are Wolves and Liverpool's like history like between each other? Why do I feel like Wolves are a tough club for Liverpool, or is that just me making it up in my brain?
No, I think I mean I don't know for certain, but I think in the last few games between the two teams have been tight. I genuinely think that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be an easy one. I think it can go either way. I mean, obviously we've got the Anfield legend of never losing at home, whatever else. We'll see what happens.
All right then. Okay, that's good stuff. That's all good stuff, and we'll just see how right we are. And I think our track record is pretty good in this area. So.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, player picks. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first. Player picks. So, tough week. Player picks, I'll be honest. But my first player, don't want to go for too obvious, obviously, because you've got some obvious games where you just know who you're going to choose. So I'm going to go for West Brom against Crystal Palace. And for that one, I'm going to go for PVA, Patrick Van Aanholt.
Interesting.
I just think West Brom are not the most attacking team out there. They're not the most dangerous team out there. Palace should win this game, even without Zaha there, if he's not back yet. But in terms of, West Brom, they do concede quite a lot of goals. And in terms of Palace, PVA does like to bomb up and provide assists. So I can see him fulfilling that role, especially with Zaha out of here. I can see him running, with the ball towards the box, trying to deliver those crosses or passes in. So he's one to have this week at around 5.5 mil. I'm not too sure on his value, but it's around that price. He could be worth it with the clean sheet and the assist potential.
Okay.
So that's my first player pick. My second player pick is Barnes.
Yeah.
Now, Barnes came through for me last week.
Yeah.
even
Wow.
though I was a bit scared towards the end. I was, quite nervous in terms of Leicester not scoring at all, but Barnes came through and, got that goal with the Vardy assist. And I've said this before, and I'll say again, Barnes and Vardy link up so well together. Literally, the link up play is remarkable. They're playing a Sheffield United team who haven't won a single game in their last 7 games or so, and have conceded obviously every single game. So goals to be scored. You've got your Vardy, but then at a cheaper price you can get Barnes in. He's also a midfielder, but he plays up front a lot, and he's always kind of trying to get into the box, trying to get shots off. He's worth it for his price of around 6.7 million. So 6.9 around 7 million, I think. So yeah, Barnes and Patrick Van Aanholt are my picks for this week.
Oh, all right then. I'll go next. The first one, I think I incorrectly said when we were talking about what the West Ham Man U game was going to be. I incorrectly said Antonio was back. I'm sure I'd seen him play a little bit, but he's still out, or he's gotten injured again. I don't know, but he's not available. So Gerard Bowen, he's a midfielder. I think you can get him for 6.3, something like that. And he looked pretty good in the last game that West Ham had. So I think he's a decent pick. If anybody's going to be scoring for West Ham without Antonio playing, then Gerard Bowen's got just as good a chance as anybody. So that's my first pick. And the second one is just a total punt. A lot of people have said this guy needs time to get used to the Premier League. They said he's really young. They said it's too early for him to start playing up front. But, you could always take a punt on Fabio Silva, the Wolves forward. He might just start playing now. A lot's been said about him, and maybe Nuno thinks he's ready, or maybe Nuno's ready to give him a chance. It's more likely that it's going to be a front three of Pedro, Neto, Podence, and Traore. But he's only 5.2 mil, and Wolves are still a good team. So that's my pick.
Good picks.
Jamie, I think you're on mute.
Yes, I am. Thank you. I was saying little comments. I was like, oh, okay, he's not heard. So, but it's okay. I was just agreeing with you. That's all.
Okay.
So I am going to go for a guy who I've been watching because of his free kicks, Ward-Prowse. It seems like and even when he's not getting a free kick, he's on the end of an assist. It seems like he's just on fire right now, and I'm considering maybe sneaking him in for the game against Brighton, because Brighton are not the best at tackling, and I feel like they're going to have some luck with free kicks and things like that. So I'm considering him as one of my picks. And then I don't know. I mean, it's going to be an obvious one, Calvert-Lewin, because he's against Burnley, and we saw what happened with Burnley last week, and I think Calvert-Lewin's going to try and come back with a bang against a side that are pretty open to getting scored against, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Oh, fair enough. All right, wonderful. There's some good players there. Plenty of food for thought.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right, then. So I think we are getting to the end of this week's episode. Before we get going, obviously I'd like to say, hit us up on Twitter at FPL_Bros. That's where we're at. You can see what we're doing with our team, despite the disaster that we had last week. But yeah, ask us questions, got any comments, or just come for the banter. It's all good. So interact on us on Twitter at FPL_Bros. The Twitter link is in the description below, and on both the podcast version and the YouTube version. And also,
we'll be uploading our team, won't we, on Twitter? So people will be able to see what decisions we take as well.
That's right. But we're tipped for the top. We still got our wild card. We've got everything to play for. So we just thought we'd give the other people in the mini leagues a bit of a chance. So we're generous like that. Also on YouTube, hit subscribe button. Also give us a like. Show us some love. It's all good. It doesn't cost you a dime. All right, then. Well, thanks, guys, for doing the pod. Appreciate it. We're a little bit later this week, but we still managed to get it out. So good looking out. And all that is left for me to say is goodbye and green arrows all round.
Yeah, peace out, guys.
Goodbye from me.